if anybody's awake. Hey, Mati, doing a live stream today from a school in Americus, Georgia. You see all these kids here just around you to see. So got a good crowd gonna be playing for these kids today. Oh, poor quality. Christine said this poor quality. Go off and go back on. The last stand. No worries. All right, check it out. I don't want to show the kids because I don't know if I'm allowed to show the kids. But it would be nice. We'll get some pictures of them and stuff. I need 2 cameras so I can do like one angle, another angle. But anyway, they're coming in. I'm supposed to start at 8:15. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. My name is Joseph E. Reed, and I go by the name the One Man Orchestra. And I'm playing guitar and violin, and I use my looper pedal as well to mix everything together. Really happy to be here. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I do music for a living. I'm living the life. So I was invited to come down here and do some songs for you. So I'll do that, and hopefully you enjoy. And as we go along, I'll probably ask for some audience participation, so just be prepared for that. But let's keep the music going. That last one is called I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. And now there's some more music for you. my friend Richard here in the back. Calling him out. My friend Richard, he's a professional photographer and also a musician. So he's giving me cues from the back, suggestions. Thank you, Richard. All right. That last one was called. Anybody know what that last song was? Thinking Out Loud by Sheeran. You recognize it? All right. Cool. So, what y'all may notice I'm doing is I am setting up the music with the guitar in the background. And I recorded on my looper pedal. I have a Boomerang looper pedal. And I record the background music and then I play the melody on top. So it's part of the process that I have. First I envision what's going to be happening and I plan and then execute it with the routine that I have in mind. And then while I'm playing, I usually embellish and have fun and improvise a little bit as well. So that process is good for a lot of things. So I'm going to get some more going for you here. That's an original song I just made up. All right. Let's keep it going here. So I started playing violin when I was about 8 years old. Anybody here 8 years old? Aha. So I was about your age when I started playing the violin. And when I was in school, they had an opportunity where they had all the instruments available. You know, they had, trumpets and saxophones and violins. And I saw the violin and I said, I want to play that. My dad said, son, you don't want to play the violin. No, you don't want to do that. I said, I want to play the violin. So he let me play the violin, and I'm glad he did because it's been a lot of fun. So I encourage you, whatever instrument you would like to play, even if it's multiple instruments, go for it. Music is a wonderful language, a wonderful way to connect, and it's a good life. So, all right. Anybody recognize that song? What's it called? Happy, happy. Hope that makes you happy. Cool. So when I'm out performing, one thing that I like to do is kind of change the mood. So sometimes play more upbeat songs like Happy, and sometimes slow it down and play more romantic songs like Thinking Out Loud, and sort of play with people's emotions as we're going along. So that was a nice upbeat, fast song. Here's one that I play for what I call my fancy brunches. Sometimes on Sundays I'm invited to play at fancy restaurants and during their brunch time. So I dress up in my best and I play songs for royalty. So this one is for royalty. You should recognize it. Maybe we'll see. Thank you so much. Anybody recognize that tune? You recognize the tune? Royals. Yes. Doing okay. So about last time I came here, I think, I'm not sure how long ago it was, maybe a year and a half. So my wife and I had our first son back then. My wife did most of the work, but now my son is a year and a half, 19 months old, and he's like the cutest boy in the entire universe. And so the one thing that I found comes with having a toddler, a young child, is the songs. There's like kid songs that they kind of get into, and for the longest time I'm like, no, I don't want to hear, Wheels on the Bus or, Baby Shark, But, some people like that, so when I'm out performing out at the square, sometimes I perform downtown, Decatur, Georgia, or other places, and people with their toddlers will come up and say, hey, do you know Baby Shark? I'm like, really? Baby Shark? So I came up with a solution. So how many of you know Justin Bieber? So there's a song by Justin Bieber called Baby Baby. So in order for me to be able to stomach Baby Shark, I mixed it together with Baby Baby. So this is Baby 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 Shark. Did you hear the baby shark part? So that's baby shark. Let's see how we're doing here. All right. So usually when I'm out performing, I go with the flow and kind of, check the crowd and say, hey, how you feeling? What song you would like to hear? And I open it up to song requests, which is a very dangerous thing because sometimes I don't know the song. I'm like, sorry. But usually I do, maybe 80% of the time. So let's try it here. Let's see how it goes. If you have a song request or an artist that you like, let me know. So we can go out and pick somebody there. Sorry, I don't have that loud. Bruno Mars, but I have a Bruno Mars song. Let's try another person. Sorry, I don't have that too. I have more to learn. How are we doing on time? Time for 5 more songs, 10 more songs? Let's see. All right, we got 2 choices for you. So there's one song that I wrote that I like performing at schools. I did it here last year. It's a rap song that I wrote. For that one, it does take some audience participation, so I would like to get people involved. Let's do that. All right, let me set it up first, and then I'll pick some people to help me. Give me just a second. Do you want, I can play one more? All right, play one more. Alright, all the kids are cleaning up the street. A good crowd, man.
Ready?
Sorry, folks. There we go. Hello. You want the music?
Doing it off my phone here. Got it? One more. Okay, everybody smile big. Thank you so much. I didn't think you were going to follow all this. I didn't think you were going to follow. Did you hear us singing for you? I hear us sing. Because nobody else was?
On
YouTube. You're live? You gotta wait live. We can't Are you live? Hey guys!
oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I love you! Y'all come listen to him sing. Fire! Wait, they hear us sing? I hope y'all saw me. Wait, I hope y'all saw me. If y'all heard us sing,
I'd give you life.
yeah, it was fire. He's so goated. He is goated.
If I was love, I'd blush
Also,
at life.
you know, if I was love, I'd blush at life.
Girl,
Okay, you too.
we love you. Go check out his YouTube.
Whoever said if I was love, I hope you were love. Let's go.
I hope you love.
Bye-bye.
Alright. Alright, folks, I'm gonna let you go now. God bless. See ya.